Hey Sagittarius, it's Empress Rose here. Welcome to your reading. These are general readings. Take what works, leave what doesn't. If I don't catch your wavelength or storyline on this reading, go check your other major placements. And this week we're not having extendeds. We're doing just a straight tarot read, actually. So I've shuffled, just cut the deck. From the bottom of the deck, 5 of Swords. And we'll say as I was shuffling, the Devil card jumped out, which is not quite feeling in control of ourselves. So 5 of Swords overall for the reading. Wow, pleasant reading for you there already there, Sagittarius. This is between a rock and a hard place. There's not an easy answer. There's not an easy solution. In order to resolve a situation, something may need to be sacrificed. It's your past, your present, your inner landscape, what's at issue, environment, to-do list, possible outcome. Oh, Sagittarius. All right. No, we're good. It's good. It wouldn't be a tarot reading without some thrills and spills, right? Wouldn't be life without all of that either. So in your recent past, we have a deep connection, 2 of Cups. A deep, soulful connection. This may have been an hour. This may have been a conversation. This may have been a weekend. This may be for a lifetime. But you connected with someone. It was heart to heart, you're eye to eye, a lot of deep emotional sharing. This is someone, a partnership, a connection. There's some beautiful connection was made in the past. In your current situation, though, we're dealing with some deeper issues. We're dealing with this may have triggered some sort of inner issues, some sort of need to look within. The Moon card, what can be revealed, what cannot be revealed, subconscious issues. I love this, the way this one is depicted, because there's a sense of just seeing deep within, seeing the core of the matter, seeing oneself more spiritually. Usually the Moon card talks to me about like having to deal with some of our shadow issues, our shadow self, like these darker parts, the parts where we feel shame, where we're embarrassed about who we are, and really looking into that. So something about this connection, this deep connection, has triggered you to take a much deeper look at who you are at your core, at a much deeper look into yourself. We will always be a bit of a mystery to our own selves, but this is really looking into that and really seeing what can be seen. Not all of it can be seen, but what we can see, pulling up those subconscious issues, and really looking in. This Moon card really talks to me about like subconscious issues, shadow self, shadow work, all of that. I mean, sometimes like love really makes us take a new look at ourselves, and a new look at, where are our hangups, where are our issues, what keeps us from connecting, or why are we drawn to this type of person, or something like that. Like there's a lot, that these deep connections can actually bring up for us to explore and examine. So something about this deep connection has you exploring and examining. Your hopes, your fears, your inner landscape, 6 of Pentacles, the passage of time, patience and impatience. So you're worried that something's taking too long. Maybe you're taking too long to figure out your shit. Like maybe you're like, oh, I love this connection. I love seeing with you, but I gotta figure out some stuff. And maybe you're worried about someone being impatient about that process, or you're impatient about that process. This card is all about patience, putting the work in and having to wait for the result. So, and this is in your hopes and fears. So I think you're worried about something taking too long. You're worried about losing patience. Someone's going to lose patience. Maybe you're connected with someone, but they're losing patience with you, and you're trying to do your work. You're going to therapy. You're getting help. You're trying to sort some stuff out. But in the meantime, the clock's still ticking. Someone's running out of patience. I think you're worried about that. I think you're worried about running out of time. I think you're worried about putting in a lot of work and not getting nothing coming to fruition. What if you have this connection, you go and you're like, okay, I am kind of a mess. I gotta sort some stuff out. What if you do all of that work and there's no reward, and you come back, or and there's nothing happens. There's no reward here. What if you do all this and there's no reward? There's just a worry and a concern about patience, about putting work into something and not seeing any results. Like maybe feeling stuck psychologically, like you keep doing this work, and you're not seeing any progress, and you're worried about that. You're worried that there's not going to be any fruits to this deep emotional labor that you're doing. What's at issue here is Two of Wands reversed. So Two of Wands reversed, sometimes this deck has really different depictions of. So traditionally, Two of Wands reversed, I'd say disorganization. Something's very disorganized. We're just shooting from the hip here. We don't know what we're doing. Nobody really does. I mean, you can get a sense in some aspects of your life, okay, like I kind of know how this works now, but there's a lot of things that we don't know what we're doing. So there's a lack of planning, a lack of organization here. This could also be like some sort of situation kind of calming down a bit. It's not as volatile as it was. So that's how this Two of Wands is depicted, is the situation is not as volatile as it once was. Not the passions, some sort of passion is kind of dying down. This could be a bad passion or a good passion, but some sort of passion is kind of dying down, or it could be unexpressed. There could be like an argument that's kind of coming to an end and winding down, where emotions were inflamed. There could be some sort of suppressed frustration and anger and emotion. There could be like this passion, like you felt passionate about this person. You've done a bunch of inner work and looked within, and you're starting to realize like this isn't, it's not, something's lost its passion, or the passion has been suppressed here. So, and that passion could be, you know, anger or love, and it could be winding down, or it could be suppressed, actively suppressed. I don't see it as being quite actively suppressed. Maybe so. It was like reholstered. Guns were out at one point, and now they've been reholstered. In your environment, you have a Queen of Pentacles. This is the person you're dealing with. Queen's the gender doesn't matter. It's about the inner universe. So a Queen of Pentacles is very focused on their career, is very focused on the next steps, next practical steps. This Two of Wands in the upright could be very practical. This is not the case though. Queen of Pentacles, next practical step. So you're dealing with someone who's very practically minded and is really looking to the next steps in reality, is really wanting to take the next step. They could be wanting to take a relationship to the next level, but you're not ready. You're trying to figure out why you're not ready, but they want to take it to the next level. Somebody here wants to go to the next step and the next level. They're really looking forward. They're really looking to the future. They are very future-oriented in the next step. They're ambitious in a way. And we can be ambitious with relationships too, right? Sometimes people have this idea that they want to get married by a certain age or something like that. And so we want all of that to line up, and we're ambitious in that way. And the next step is, but you're having some sort of inner issue here. Like they're all ready to go to the next step. They've planned it out. They figured it out how the next step goes. But I don't know if this moon has doubts, but there is just something, you're dealing with something internal here. And this other person is being very practical, very real world. The next step, we've been dating for this long. The next step is to be engaged. Now we've been engaged. The next step is to have the wedding. Like there's just like, this could be work related, maybe. But you may have lost some passion here and you're trying to figure out why. Or there was an argument or something and this person's just kind of plowing ahead. Like, and now we move in together and you're kind of like, wait, I'm doing a lot of inner work here. I don't know about that. But they're ready to go to the next step. Your to-do list is Knight of Wands. This is fascinating. Knight of Wands. Passionate communication, moving forward, leaping forward, rearing forward. The Knight is communication. Wands, this is fast, moving quickly. So maybe you've been dragging your feet or something. But this is the Knight of Wands, and I love it how these cards just like kind of weave together. They show up again all week through the reading. I don't know if it's like physical or, you know, it's just like a card. I don't know how they come out like this. I think it's fascinating though. I love it. And it helps remind me that we're all part of some sort of collective experience, and this energy moves through our lives. It might have a very different effect, but it's moving through our lives. So this Knight of Wands is about communication. So this is your to-do list. So you need to communicate something. And it's okay if it's half-baked. It's fine if it's half-baked. Maybe you're trying to get all your ducks in a row and you're like, but I have to figure this out. And this is saying, like, it's okay if it's half-baked. Like, this person wants to go to the next level, and whether you're denying that or going forward, you don't need to plan it all out. You don't need to figure it all out. You just need to move. This is just the move. Just say something. Someone may want to take a relationship to the next step, which could just be like meeting for coffee or something. And this is you communicating something and you just moving any which way. It doesn't care. It doesn't care if it's slightly disorganized. That does not matter. It does not care. It cares that there's passion. It cares that you feel it. It cares that it's genuine. It can be a little reckless. It can be a little like, it's brave. That's what needs to happen, is some sort of brave communication. Whichever way you're going here, whether you've lost passion or whether you can't figure it, like this, in some decks, this card would be like needing, like not planning something out, something being very disorganized. And this is saying, like, it's okay, just get it out. You don't have to write it and rewrite it and revise it and pass it off to someone else to like do something else with it. You can just say it. Just say how you feel, say what you mean. And it does not have to be perfect. You do not have to plan it all out. You just need to like communicate something with this person. How you feel. It needs to be genuine. There's probably going to be some courage involved here. It does not need to be like the most perfect words that have ever come out of your mouth. It doesn't need to be publishable. It doesn't need to be like a whole thing. It just needs to be some kind of communication. It needs to happen quick. Just there, say it. And then possible outcome, Two of Swords. This could be denial. This is two truths that don't really work together. And nobody wants to admit it. So this could be a warning, like if you don't communicate what you're thinking, just some sort of denial. There's just two truths. They're like coexisting, but they're not working together. So it could be a warning, or it could just be like, this is what's going to happen. Just say what you're going to say, because this is what's coming anyway. So Two of Swords is things that aren't seeing eye to eye, things that don't work together, things that can't accomplish anything together. Truths that just don't mesh. This Two of Swords is a little different. Normally a Two of Swords to me would be like denial, like we see the truth, it's there, it just isn't being applied. It's just not applicable. It's just not. The truth is there, but it may not have much of an effect on the situation. I'm always confused when the Two of Swords like comes up with in one of these two positions, because it's just like, you don't want, like, it's not supposed to work out, or it's not supposed to like work, or you're just supposed to ignore something, that these don't mesh, these don't work well together. This Knight of Wands and this Queen of Pentacles, these are the two people we're dealing with. Queen of Pentacles is the other person. Organized, career-oriented, possibly very money-oriented, really wanting next concrete steps. And then we have this person, you, who's just like, yahoo, let's go. Just coming in with some wild truths. Maybe it just doesn't quite work, right? We go from Two of Cups to this deep connection to this Two of Swords, which is two things that don't quite work. But you know, and the overall thing is like, there's tough decisions. We have to sacrifice things sometimes in order to get something that we want. And it's just like, what do you want more? What's the path forward here? What do you want more? And you're supposed to communicate that really clearly, and just I don't know. So it's two truths. I don't know. Two truths just don't work out. They just don't work together. It's innocuous though. There's not a problem with it. It's just like, it's not, in this way this Two of Swords is depicted, these two things don't mesh. These two truths don't jive. But it's not a problem. It's just not effective. So I hope that was helpful for you, Sagittarius. Thank you so much for your likes, subscribes, and comments, and I'll see you guys in a couple weeks.